just right on. Oh, howdy guys, how's it going? So I have got down to one of our favorite camping spots down by the creek here, and got a bit lucky in that coming in we was able to take and avoid any rain, but we are supposed to be getting some scattered showers this evening and kind of for the next couple of days, because some of y'all is going to immediately jump to, you know, don't camp beside a creek if it's going to be raining. That is a very good rule of thumb, but this spot right here is plenty elevated. The drainage in this area is fine based off my past experience, and we're not supposed to be getting any, you know, torrential long-term downpours, at least not until, you know, after I need to leave here tomorrow. So not really worried about that. Plus, it's just a really, really nice flat spot to set up the specific tent that I brought with us, because I brought out the improved combat shelter system that we took and dyed the rainfly on. I was getting questions about, you know, how is that one holding up? How did the rainfly, you know, turn out after everything was said and done? You know, like, did it completely mess up the seams and stuff like that? So even though we are going to be setting up a tarp so we have an area to chill out underneath tonight, we're going to still leave part of the tent exposed so that it can get rained on, and, you know, you guys can see just kind of how the waterproofness held up. Now, I do recommend if you're dyeing something like that to go ahead and re-waterproof it and redo the seams. You'll get to see just kind of how it is as is after that. And again, for an overnighter, it looks like I brought everything, including the kitchen sink, but it's just the way I got this bag packed out. But I did bring a couple of luxury items. Right there's a rain jacket. Got a sleeping pad up top, and then right against, okay, with that whole tree deal right there, just come down. Okay, we can't get lucky with a tree hanging device. Okay, for the time being, this log right here isn't extremely wet, so right there's the Outdoor Vitals closed cell phone pad that will be going in the tent later, but for now, just do that right there. What I was saying is I just have, because the tent is the heaviest and largest item, I just had it along the back side up against our back, and then we've got a very nice large tarp for us here. That's the Phantom Leaf Miltech tarp. I'm tired of that fella right there that tipped over on us. It's completely rotted out. I'm going to take and trim back a couple of these low-hanging limbs. They just keep poking me in the head whenever I'm coming through here. Well, American beech can be very stubborn. Brissa Trapper is a very sharp knife, but it's not a chopper by any means. So you just kind of gotta whittle your way through whatever little branch it is you're trying to remove from the equation. Tarp out. I don't remember if this is 8x8 or 10x10. I'm thinking it's 8x8. I'm kind of hoping it is, because I do have somewhat of a limited size space right here that would be perfect for the size I need. Because I got one piece of paracord that I want to use, and then I cut some pieces of bank line that I'm going to use to just hold on there with tension, because this particular tarp has the elasticated tie-off points on it. camo just blends in so dang well. And that right there will do just fine. Now let's get to setting up the tent. We'll probably put it out right here in front of where our tarp is. But as you can see, we have got bag and everything still in its original camouflage color, as well as the tent body. Poles. I can't remember if I left that set of broken poles in here or not, because I did have to get a new set of poles for this thing. And here is the stakes, along with our beautifully dyed rainfly. And what I wanted to show you guys, because the thing I was getting the most questions about, you can see how the seam tape is still very much intact and didn't really seem to run into any major separation issue with that. So again, we'll get everything set up and see how she's looking since she's been in storage so long. We are probably just about 5 to 6 foot away, and that's what our dyed rainfly looks like on the forest floor right beside the undyed stuff sack. So I mean, again, the further back away you get, the better that blends in, and it really did just make an absolute world of difference. Like, it pretty much turned that from being an inusable pattern for these conditions into a more than suitable option. I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of catty corner the tent into this, because we can have this area over here to sit underneath, chill out, do our stuff. But then at least 75% of the tent is still going to get rained on whenever it does rain. So we'll stake our corners out and get our rain fly on, get that final pole in. And to a moment of truth. Still likes to wad up and stick to itself, so that's something that definitely didn't change from it being dyed. Here is our dyed tent in all of its glory, and again, even just getting back a very small distance, you can just see the difference that that dye color makes just in how it blends in with like the fall ground. And then you take and really combine it with something like that tarp over on that backside that blends in with all the other greenery, and you are good to go. Oh, and because it's looking like this material has stored very well. Zippers still work just fine. Getting the zipper started is a little difficult, but the Velcro wasn't negatively infected by the high heat. And yeah, all in all, that dye job was a success. I do highly recommend the brown over the green, because the green that I've seen makes this thing just look too green, and it kind of, you're just better off going with this brown color, I think. But I will obviously link to the video where I did dye that. That way you can go check it out for yourself, because it would apply to any other military surplus gear that is in that pattern, or really just anything that you wanted to touch up with a different dye color. But now I'm going to get the chair out and sit down for a bit, because today is just a random humidity day. So hopefully we'll have these completely behind us before too long. But for the time being, I'm just going to sit down and chill out for a bit. Whew. Alrighty, and we are going to be trying out a brand new freeze-dried meal. This is from Trail Goods Co. And we got creamy, spicy chicken and pasta, 840 calories per pouch, and a nice 42 grams of protein. So yeah, never had one of these meals from this particular brand before, so looking forward to trying it out. Got a nice pitter patter of rain come through, a little bit of thunder in the distance, and it's pretty much just right on schedule. So I opted to bring the stove because I knew that, like with this spot where we've been here before, I didn't want to have a fire right up and burn holes in the tent. There's some spots where the waterproofing definitely isn't you know, to the same standard that it was beforehand. It's like not beaten up as well. But yeah, I got a canteen cup full of water out of the creek, so we'll get this going because I am hungry. Boom. Oh, okay, so while our food is reheating, I wanted to take a look inside the tent, because it has been doing this kind of heavy, consistent rain now for at least 30-45 minutes. And the inside of this thing looks perfectly fine. Right now, any water that might get in could just be dripping off of my rain jacket, but the rain fly and the waterproofness of it is still holding perfectly normal. So I do kind of wish I'd already had my pad in here, but I might go ahead and get that situated. Don't know how well y'all can hear that thunder. But yeah, we'll get this zipped up. And just like that, our bed is situated. We got our flex tail pillow. We got a light sleeper Woobie, which if it got cold on us, we could actually flip this around and have 2 layers of Woobie material on top of us. And then we got our flex tail inflatable mat, and all of that is going to be more than comfy enough. And I was able to do this with actually without dripping much of any water in here. So now all that's left to do is chow down on some food. Ooh. Okay, so I've got my rain jacket over the tripod there on you guys, so hopefully you can see me, but our food is nice and rehydrated, and by God, it looks and smells very, very good. Need to take them. Switch this to red to get rid of some of these bugs that's flying around me. Oh, yes, sir. Tastes even better, why? Eating it during a thunderstorm. Alrighty guys, we are all snuggled up inside of here. I was just giving everything a one over, and there's no moisture on the floor of the tent yet. There are these 2 spots right here which feel ever so slightly damp. Everything else, like I have took and pressed up against the tent. You probably won't be able to see that super well, but kind of where the crossbars for the tent poles are pushing up along some of those seams. There's a spider on the outside there. It looks like a little water might be getting through in some areas, but it's not consistent across every single seam with the tent. And again, in the corners and stuff, there is no sign of water, and we've had some pretty consistent heavy rain. I don't know how well you can hear the thunder. Everything that's on the door here, this is from just me coming in and out with my rain jacket on whenever I was getting stuff situated. And then all of our other gear is on the outside vestibule area, and a few things I left underneath my tarp. But I'm just going to take and get cozy and get comfortable and just wait out the storm, and I will see y'all in the morning. So until then, good night. Good morning guys, how's it going? Woke up just a wee bit on the stiff side this morning, but woke up to no rain. Just got a lot of water dripping off the trees, but it did rain pretty much consistently and constantly throughout the night, and I will turn that light back on and show you guys. But I am actually extremely surprised that we didn't end up getting a lot of water really at all in the tent. There's just a little bit down at the foot area, and I'll show you guys that. But I took and lifted up my mat, and absolutely no water or nothing accumulated underneath my mat or up here at the head area. So yeah, coming into the inside of the tent here, you can see there is absolutely no water, nothing seeped up through out of the ground. Just where I have hit this, it looks like some water dripped and then run down the inner of the material. There's also probably a decent bit of condensation there, but just hitting that and touching that up against that just has dripped down, but nothing really in these upper corners. Again, just a little bit of like water drip there. Like, it's definitely a little bit of water coming through the rain fly there, so it does need to be retreated and re-seam sealed. But you can see no water underneath the mat. Really, the only water that we've had that's kind of collected is down there at the foot end, and I think again that is just coming off right here. If you can see that discoloration. So it's like this inner material done a decent job of actually still deflecting any water droplets that decided to roll down. So I mean, to be honest, I'm really happy and impressed with that after I seen that little bit of seam separation on the seam tape, and the just constant consistent rain that we got throughout the night. So the improved combat shelter gets 2 thumbs up again, and I will take and re-seam, because I have to take and set this thing back up to completely dry out and everything. And I have my woodland camouflage version, which is like a brand new model. It's not one that like this one was surplus, but just again waking up with this thing where it has the blackout feature on the underside of the rainfly is just really nice. So anyways, guys, I'm going to take and get to wrestling and packing this thing up. Packing up wet tarps and wet tents is never really fun. It can honestly be quite frustrating. So I'm going to get to doing that. I probably would make a cup of coffee, but I think that's all I'm going to do filming wise for this one. One thing to see too, how heavy a rain it got at one point. That right there is all dirt and stuff that has splashed up from the ground, even though we got this nice long overhang here on the front of the tent. So that's just a testament to how heavy it did rain there for a bit. Yeah, guys, going to do it for this one. So as always, really appreciate taking time to watch the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Check out the video where I dyed this tent rainfly, because as you can see, it really doesn't degrade the functionality of the rainfly that much, and what little bit it does is going to be really quick and easy to rectify. So yeah, subscribe if you hadn't already. Share our channel videos with your friends, family about just go outdoor activities and gear. I will link to everything that I use down in the video description. As always, let me know what kind of stuff you guys want to see in the comment sections, what you thought about how this tent dye situation turned out. And yeah, guys, with all that said, until the next one, adios.